All right, I'll be brief with my comments. You heard my testimony. I think the biggest rocks we're working on right now is communication, our remote learning plan, and of course our feeding of the students. And so we have contingency plans. Obviously, we've suspended all operations indefinitely, and we'll reevaluate every 3 weeks based upon the new information that we get. I do want to thank my team for all the organization that they've done. We meet every other morning virtually, and we'll continue to do that until we get some more details on how to handle things. So obviously it is, we're heartbroken that we had a student identified with the virus. It's ironic, we've had no employees yet that we've been notified to have the virus, and we're working through that. We work with that individual family in that school, and we're working with them, with the county. So with that being said, I think I need to be available to take your questions. En español les digo que tenemos un plan para comunicar con los padres de familia. También tenemos un plan para que sigan aprendiendo los estudiantes en todas las escuelas, y también vamos a comenzar con la comida la semana que entra, el lunes y el Thursday. Vamos a tener todas las escuelas secundarias abiertas de las 10 a la mañana a la 1 de la tarde para que los alumnos puedan ir a la escuela a recoger la comida. We have one decision that we have made is that starting on Monday and Thursday every week, we will have all of our secondary schools open from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. where students can go and collect food for 3 days, and they can also collect their lessons, especially for the ones that are on the low-tech solution. So with that being said, I'll open it up to any questions that you may. Yes, Sean.
I'd like for you to expound again on your challenges of trying to connect all of your students technically.
Yes, our students have devices, and the devices can connect to the internet, and that's great at school, but it's not so great if they go home and they don't have connectivity. And so we think that could affect as many as 40% of our students. There are solutions with hotspots, and we have a number of hotspots. We're going to be asking for others to be donated. If people want to help, that would be a great solution. You saw where the city council also wants to maybe do that as a joint venture, and we're even looking at creative solutions about putting these hotspots on buses and putting them strategically throughout the community, so at least our students can go download their information and then have access to work.
Esa es mi pregunta, pero en español, ¿cómo se va a distribuir todo esto?
Los estudiantes en la secundaria tienen las computadoras, pero a veces no se conecta con el internet. Y estamos trabajando con la ciudad y con ellos que nos van a ayudar a conectar los estudiantes. Todavía no tenemos todas las soluciones, pero estamos trabajando en eso. Yes, Rebecca.
We've had a lot of questions from graduating parents. You know, they've got students. Are they going to have commencement ceremonies? I know it's probably still too early, but there's a lot of concern. They waited 12 years for this.
Yeah, our students are not going to get penalized, and if they're close, we'll have to have an individual committee work on that. But yes, we just don't know that yet. In the next 2 weeks, we'll know a lot more. If we're not even going to have school again for the rest of the year, then we maybe figure out how we have commencements close to where we have them. But if we can have some instruction and we might want to delay that a couple of months, we might do that. So that's why we're a little bit hesitant to respond. We got to see how this plays out and how quick the recovery is. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. When you talk about the positive case that you had, can you expand a little bit on what's being done as far as notifications, sanitations of the school, just because of community spread is concerned for people?
Yes, that particular school, Long Middle School, we had it cleaned immediately. In fact, day before yesterday, we got that cleaned. We've communicated with the parents. The student had only gone to 2 classes, so we've already been communicating with all of the parents and students in those families, and our principal went and sent out a letter to them immediately. So, and the student was actually never even that close to a teacher, so the teacher didn't even get impacted, but some of the students may have. And so we're connecting them with the county to get those tested.
So does that mean like every student in that classroom, those 2 classrooms, every student had to be notified?
Yes, sir. Every student had to be notified. Those are protocols that we have from the county that we have to follow. Yes. Ken?
Okay, we'll go right here.
Yeah, Dr. Rosa, just about meal plans. For kids that have meal plans, is there any update on them?
Yeah. Luckily, we feed all the students. Even though not all of our students qualify, we have a program where we feed everybody. So anybody who's a student, they just come up to the school. They'll get meals for 3 days. And that'll be on Mondays and Thursdays from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. And so they'll be able to grab food for 3 days. Now, we're working with the Texas Department of Agriculture and also with the feds about can we be reimbursed for all of that, because they may or may not qualify. But it doesn't matter to us. If we have to pay for some of that, we're going to do that so our students will have some square meals.
There's a question right here.
Yes.
Karen.
Si me puede explicar en español, ¿de qué manera se han comunicado con las personas o estudiantes y maestros que estuvieron cerca al estudiante que está infectado, especialmente en la...
Sí, para los padres que están afectados en la escuela de J.L. Long, nosotros le mandamos una carta en inglés ni español que se tiene que comunicar con el condado para hacer exámenes, a ver si también afectaron los otros estudiantes. Ken, do you have a question? Okay. Anybody else?
Now that you do have your first positive case in schools, are you concerned about what happens from here as far as school population?
Yeah, that was a body blow when you hear that a student had, and because things just keep evolving, and we kept hearing that it was usually just elderly people that were the most at risk. Now, students bounce back quickly, but for me to hear that, it was very difficult. And then actually yesterday, a lot of the cases in this county, are people that are 20 and 30 years old. So that information is even evolving as we go. So since we have a student, then we're going to be overly cautious for a while until we get some direction about how safe it is for them to go back to school. So it's going to be a while.
En español, lo de las graduaciones y quién califica para los alimentos.
Sí, en nuestro distrito todos los estudiantes califican por la comida. Si nada más tienen que ir con su padre o ellos mismos a las escuelas secundarias y les podemos dar la comida. Para las graduaciones, nosotros todavía no tenemos un plan. Nos vamos a esperar un poco a ver qué pasa, si podemos regresar. A ver si nos esperamos hasta junio o julio, pero en este momento no estamos preparados. Pero lo que quiero decir a los padres, no vamos a castigar a los estudiantes. Si parece que van a graduar, les vamos a ayudar en ese momento.
¿La comida es desayuno y almuerzo, breakfast and lunch?
Todavía no sabemos, se me hace que sí vamos a dar los 2 por 3 días la comida.
Awesome. That was it. We'll do one last in Spanish right here for just speaking in Spanish about the student.
Yes, I don't know if it was already asked in the Spanish, but if we can get it Spanish-wise an answer, just explaining about the student that was infected and what's being done within the schools in Spanish.
Sí, okay. Para los padres de familia, quiero que sepan que si un estudiante en una de las escuelas está positivo de esta enfermación, pero ya estamos limpiando esta escuela, pero no vamos a tener escuela por varios meses, semanas o meses. Pero ahí estamos, notificamos a todos los padres en español y en inglés. Si no recibió una carta, en este momento no se tiene que preocupar.